All right, it is time to do another vlog. Woohoo! First of the year. What I am watching, this is all going to be about TV. Hey everyone, it is Shannon, and I'm super excited to be here today and to share with you this TV vlog. I did one of these last fall, and how it works is it's sort of like a week in the life of TV watching and doing and planning and those kinds of good things. And so I have picked out some new shows that are starting this week that I am going to check out for the first time. And then I have a couple of other shows that I am working on, and we'll see if, and I'll set some goals for that, and we'll see if I meet those goals. And then I have some other TV related things that I am hoping to do or try this week, and we'll see if that happens. So it's a vlog, and it's a vlog with goals because I like goals. So first up, we have a show that starts tomorrow, which is Wednesday, January 2nd, and it's going to be on Fox, and it is called The Masked Singer, as you can see by this person who you cannot see them because they are wearing a mask. And the premise of this show is that a famous singer or celebrity, I don't know if it has to be a singer, it would make sense because they're going to be singing, sings, but you cannot see who they are, and then there's a panel who tries to figure out who it is. Apparently this is not a new idea. There was a show like the same premise many years ago, and also when I was searching Pinterest to find an image, there's definitely a current show that has the same name, but I don't know where it is from because all of the images that came up were not in English, so I'm not sure where it's from, but somewhere else there's definitely at least one other place is having a show called The Masked Singer. But I'm going to check out the one that's going to be on Fox on Wednesday night, and it actually I did not see it listed on a Canadian station, so I will definitely be watching it on Fox. And then also another new show this week. Oops, I accidentally. Another new show this week that is going to be on NBC and also on Global, and that is The Titan Games, and this is hosted by, of course, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. And this is definitely a reality competition series. It's got games in the title. Pretty clear it's going to be some kind of physical competition show. And one of the things with reality shows, and one of the reasons why I don't research them too much, is I love trying to figure out how they work, especially new ones. So that's going to be definitely part of the fun of watching both of these shows. And also, for this one, I do find physical competition reality shows, I find them often inspiring, like American Ninja Warrior. I mean, they do so much backstory with the people and they show their training and their dedication, and I find that inspiring. And so, yeah, that's another reason that I like to watch them. And this one also, I really enjoyed, there was a show that The Rock did many years ago now, actually, called The Hero, and that was more everyday people doing heroic things or trying to do heroic things and be heroic, and it was a really interesting show, really interesting premise. But this one definitely looks like it's athletes. I mean, you can see pretty much everyone's abs, everyone looks like they're like all muscle. So I think this one's more of a reality competition. I don't know if they like compete to win something that day, if it's new contestants every episode, or if it is like, working up to a final competition. I don't know. I will find out as I watch it. So those are the two new shows that I'm planning to check out. And this one, actually, the Titan Games has a 2-hour premiere. I don't know if it's always going to be 2 hours, but the premiere episode is definitely 2 hours. The place I go to find out like the TV schedule only gives me a week ahead of time. It's my backup place to do the research. My regular one has not been working and makes me so sad. Yeah, especially if you're in Canada and you have a good resource for like where you get TV listings, let me know, because I feel like it's one of those things, because it's regionalized and it's continually changes. It's something that I feel like there's not as many static sites that end up giving you the information. The one I generally use is Zap2It, but for some reason that has been sort of on and off again, and so I use one at another site, and that has been my backup, but it only gives me a week ahead. So anyway, TV research aside. Now, there are two shows that I would also like to watch this week. One I want to finish and one I want to start. The show that I want to finish is called Pine Gap, and this is an Australian show. It's on Netflix, at least Netflix here in Canada, and it is all about, it's like a surveillance, it's set in a surveillance center in Australia called Pine Gap, which is actually, I think it's a real place, because again, when I was searching Pinterest, I got all these images about, like, Australia's American Area 52, and I was like, what is this? I had no idea that it could be based on reality. I haven't done any research, so I do not know, but all I've done so far is watch this first episode and glanced at things on Pinterest, so not an expert. But I did really enjoy the first episode. It's sort of it's a thriller, mystery, espionage, political, current day set in this surveillance center. It looks like it's set in Australia, but it looks like it's either co-run by Americans and Australians, or perhaps the Americans might have a little more pull, and that's definitely feels like it's part of the tension of the story. And they definitely do not necessarily have the same, goals or leanings or things that they would do, decisions they would make. So the center is made up of people, both Australians and Americans, and it's also secret. So it's actually, I have found it very engaging so far. I'm quite enjoying it. The only thing I would say about it is I did decide to watch it with the subtitles on. Not because of the accents, no problem with the accents, but there are a lot of acronyms said as words. That lets you know there's sort of like a government level. There's acronyms spoken as words, and there's also a lot of terms and locations and stuff like that that I'm not familiar with, or I wouldn't necessarily know it is. But when you see that it's like in all titles, okay, that's an acronym for something. Those kinds of things. So I find it helpful to watch it with the subtitles on. Just a little heads up if you check it out. Let me know if you've seen it. Hopefully by the time this has gone up, I will have finished the whole thing. That will be very exciting. And then there's also a show that I want to start watching, and that is The White Queen. And this is a historical drama / romance. And the reason that I want to watch it, other than the fact that I watched episode 1 years ago and loved it, but the additional reason I want to watch it is that I unwrapped the book, The White Queen by Philippa Gregory, which is what it was based on, and I want to read the book. And for me, I do things for TV, book to TV adaptations. I do them backwards in terms of that I like to watch the show first and then read the book. Book to film adaptations, I always want to read the book and then watch the film, but for TV, I find there's often the long arc plot, whether it's a mystery or just literally the plot. I want it to be unveiled as I watch the show. If I love the show and love the book, I will rewatch the show after I read the book. I have no problem rewatching things. But I don't want to like spend 10 episodes when I know how it's going to end, or I'm only looking for the differences between the book and the TV show. That's what I found after years of trying different things. And although this one is a bit weird because it is historical, so, if you know your history, you're probably going to know where this is going to go. But as I don't, I want to let it unveil itself in the show. So I'm only committing to starting this, so I just have to watch the first episode to meet that goal. And I would really like to do it because it's been on my to-watch list for years. Because heck, I have it on DVD. I don't even have it on Blu-ray. I have it on DVD, so it's been a while that I've had it. Oh, what's next? Okay, so, and I have 2 other TV related goals that I would like to achieve this week. One is actually pretty simple. I just want to draw out a TV grid of the big, the Canadian and the American stations for the winter schedule, and just show what's on like Monday through Sunday or Sunday through Saturday. Saturday, there's nothing on. It's always sports or reruns. But anyway, I still put it there just in case. And I just write what's on at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and 10 o'clock because I tend to watch things live. I watch via antenna a lot of the time. And so looking and seeing what's on the schedule will help me determine some choices. Like, for example, the Titan Games app actually happens to be on at the same time as Supernatural. And usually, like, nothing's got a chance against Supernatural. But it is, like, if I really like it, who knows? But I actually did end up buying Supernatural on Google Play, so I can watch it that way, but they're not always, sometimes it takes a while for the next episode to go up, so I would much rather watch it live, and of course, spoilers. So I want to do a TV grid. I actually have a place for it here in my TV book, which is just a composition book. And I totally wrote it wrong. I wrote 2018 fall grid, but I want it to be my 2019 winter grid, so that is what I hope to do. And so, yeah, hopefully that won't be too taxing. And then the last thing that I would like to do, and I think I touched on this earlier, that one thing I want to do this year, or at least this next few months and see how it goes, is to try and watch some shorter shows, to watch some 1-season shows. And so I spent some time flicking through Netflix and I got this whole host of shows, like this entire list of shows. And I also went through Amazon too, but I don't know if I'm going to include the Amazon Prime ones yet. I haven't quite decided. Not because they're not as interesting. I think it's just because some of them. Oh, there's definitely some of them. Oh, yeah, no. Okay, anyway, we'll see what happens. So, I have this whole list of shows, and so I think I am going to do a TBW jar. So instead of a TBR jar, a to be read jar, I'm going to be do a to be watched jar. And so I'll put the title of the series on slip and paper, put it in the jar, and then pull one when I'm ready to start something new, just to add some randomness. Because sometimes, I don't know about you, by the time I sit down to watch something, like decision fatigue can hit hard. And if I'm just committed to the shows that I'm watching, and I have some variety, like Pine Gap is totally different from The White Queen, like historical romance drama versus current day political thrillery, surveillance show, totally different. Or who knows, maybe there'll be tons of spying in The White Queen. Could happen. But anyway, and I'm sure there'll be some romance in Pine Gap, but you can already feel it going on. Anyway, but as I mentioned, once I sit down to watch something, often I can get decision fatigue. So sometimes it's very helpful to make the decision about what you're watching at a different point in time and just stay committed and just be like, this is what I'm watching. Full stop. That's what helps me, so that's what I'm going to try to do. So there you go. So there is my intro to this vlog. I'm going to be watching The Masked Singer, and I'm going to be watching the Titan Games. I hope to finish Pine Gap and start The White Queen, do my TV grid, and do my TBW jar. So I will come back. This is going to be a vlog, so I'll come back and share with you the next TV-related thing that I end up doing or seeing, and we are going to go through this week and see how it goes. So I am excited to figure out what happens next. Future Shannon here. I just wanted to let you know that I'm actually going to put timestamps in the description box below for when I'm talking about both The Masked Singer and the Titan Games, because I put them in the description and all that jazz, but I talk about a lot of different things during this vlog, so if you're here specifically for reactions to those two shows, there will be links in the description box below. Thanks! So it's about 6 oh, not even 6:40. Wow, where does the time go? And I think I am going to be starting The White Queen tonight because my internet sucks today. Holy crap. I'm uploading a video and it's a long one, but it's been going for at least an hour and it's got an estimated another hour and a half, and I actually checked the internet on my PS4 and it was like in kilobytes. So I think I'm going DVD tonight. So I think I'll be starting The White Queen. I'm also going to watch Lethal Weapon. It's coming back today. I'm not going to be talking about that on the vlog just because it's it's the winter premiere of the 3rd season and there's no way to talk about it spoiler free. Although I will just generally say, I'm not sure how I feel about the current season. I really enjoyed the first 2 seasons with some reservations. But I do like watching it, and I like having a couple shows to multitask to, so it's a show where I do multitask, and I actually often download my library books and enter them into my spreadsheet when I'm watching it, because the action sequences are they're exciting, but I like character a little bit more than that, so I know when to look up and whether it's for the explosions or for the character development moments and those kinds of things. Anyway, so look at me not talking about it. So that's the plan tonight, which is Tuesday the 1st, to watch Lethal Weapon and then also to start The White Queen, unless if miraculously my internet gets better than kilobytes. In which case I'll watch some Pine Gap. But I think it's The White Queen tonight, which is good because I really would like to start it. So we'll see if that's what happens. So I'm totally off to a rocky start because I ended up completely missing Lethal Weapon. I thought it was on at 9. Apparently it's on at 8. I don't know if that's a change. But I turned and I'm like, I don't recognize these people on Fox, and it's The Gifted. So yeah, I goofed on that, so I guess I'm not watching Lethal Weapon this week. Yeah, and it was working really hard to be done by 9. Well, I think I'm just going to take a bit of a breather and then figure out what to do. Life is weird. So I looked back, and earlier in the season, Lethal Weapon was on at 9 o'clock. So I think it shifted because this is back from October. So yeah, I had it at 9 o'clock Tuesday night. So they must have switched it to 8 p.m. to make way for The Gifted. I don't know if that's going to be every week, but what's hilarious is I did write down this week. I actually did write down 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. So I'm gonna set a timer for my other stuff so I don't miss it. What a week! What a week! Alrighty, I am going to get started on my goals tonight, and I am going to start with the White Queen. As my internet continues to be really spotty today, I'm going to go old school DVD, pop this sucker in, watch at least the first episode, and start this ball rolling. I hope I like it as much as I did the first time. At least I only saw the first episode the last time. And yeah, fingers crossed. All right, episode 1, In Love with the King. Here we go. Oh no, it's based on more than one book. I had no idea. All right, welcome to day 2 of my TV vlog, and I am actually really happy with how things went yesterday, even though I did have some grumpy moments with the missing show, but it's okay because it wasn't one of my goal shows, so it was okay. And I did start watching The White Queen, which was really good. I watched the first episode, and it was just as good as I remembered. And actually, I really wonder, why did I not continue watching this? Like, really, it doesn't make any sense. It might have been an availability issue. Thinking back, I can't actually remember what channel it was on here, and it might have been one of the super premium channels. So the first episode might have been available by promo or something. Anyway, it's been a couple years, and how available things are is very different now. Like, I don't even know if you could purchase an in-season series at that point, or if I knew how to do that, even if it was available. So anyway, I'm thrilled to get back to this. If you're unfamiliar with the show or the book, it's actually set in 1494. It's centered around the War of the Roses in England, and so Henry VI was in power, but Edward IV, what is the word that they use? I want to say usurped him, but that's not the word that they dethroned him. I don't know. So they're battling, and but it's a romance between Edward IV and uh, Elizabeth Grey. So, and I loved it. And there's also a hint of magic, which I completely sort of forgot about. And I love that element to it. And both Elizabeth and her mom are amazing characters and have really strong performances. It's really wonderful to see really strong women characters that that alone is enough for me. And then there's really the romance is actually quite good. And it's way steamier than I remembered or expected. Like, way steamier. I forgot it's on Stars, so I guess they can get away with a lot, and they certainly did. I still find it very shocking to see that amount of content, even on a premium level television show. But it worked, and it made sense. It was completely appropriate to the scene. So anyway, it was not gratuitous, is what I was trying to say. It was not gratuitous. There was actually one moment that I felt was a little gratuitous. Oddly did not involve the main characters, and that's why I felt gratuitous, but minor moment. Anyway, so yeah, I am enjoying it so far, and I definitely will continue. It is a bit of a longer format than I remember. It's an hour. And I don't know if that's just the first episode or if that will be the episodes as they go on. I'm glad I didn't know that, because sometimes I do find I'll say no to watching something that's an hour long, but in all honesty, I'm probably just going to watch something that's 45 minutes and then watch something else, so there's really no reason to say no. So it did go rather late, which is why I'm coming back today. That's often the format for my vlogs if you're new to watching my vlogs. Yeah, so I enjoyed it, and I'm really happy that I got that started. As for today, I'm going to be watching The Masked Singer. That's the new show that I'm going to be enjoying tonight, hopefully enjoying tonight. I set an alarm on my phone so I don't miss it. And yeah, I have some errands and running around to do. So when I get back, I think I might try and watch an episode of Pine Gap because it is another one of my goals to finish that this week, and I have 5 episodes left. Normally, it's not something that I would watch when I'm like resting, but like because it's like higher intellectual content and mystery and intrigue and lots of characters I don't even know yet. But if it's too hard to follow, then I'll just either rewatch it later or stop it and watch something else. But I think I'm going to give it a try. So I'm saying this out loud. I'm going to watch Pine Gap later when I'm resting. We'll see if that's what happens. So easy to pick something else, which is why it's good to say it ahead of time. So yeah, I'm going to go do some errands and then come back and we shall see how the day proceeds. So it's definitely cold out. I can feel that -5 easily. But mainly my goal is to get out and get home before it snows. It's not supposed to snow for like 5 hours, so I should make it. So I'm back from doing groceries. I just got a small shop in, but wow, it was not a small crowd at the store. Who would think that it would be so busy on January 2nd? I guess that one day where the stores are closed. I don't know. Stores were busy. Anyway, so I am going to put this lot away and make up some food and then get to watching some Pine Gap. I, of course, did also stop by and pick up some books because I had a coupon. So I got some books too. Here are the books I got. I got this Legends, which is women who have changed the world through the eyes of great women writers. This actually, I said that not very well. Women who have changed the world, full stop, through the eyes of great women writers. So it's actually sort of like portraits and then write-ups by famous authors. So I'm really looking forward to this. This one I used my coupon on, so I got it for pretty much $1. It was $5.99. And then I picked up some Harlequins. Yes, because why not? So I got some Harlequins too. So yes, it is the 2nd of January and I've already bought books, but I only spent $5.40 because these are 99 cents each and buy 4 get 1 free. So I hope it's all going to be good. All right, I am ready to dive into episode 2 of Pine Gap. I have my lunch already. I got some croissant sandwiches and some salad, and yes, a few Christmas cookies because, I made too many this year. I will freeze whatever's left by the end of the week, but I'm going to enjoy them until then, and of course some coffee, and it is time to dive into Pine Gap. See what happens in episode 2. So it is just about 9 o'clock, which means The Masked Singer is going to come on soon. I am looking forward to checking it out. I have no idea what it is going to be like, tonally that is. I understand the premise. But I am just really I'm looking forward to this. I always find watching new shows a bit of a fun experiment, and so I'm looking forward to that. And also, earlier today, I did end up watching 2 episodes of Pine Gap, so I'm now officially halfway through, and I'm really quite enjoying it. I think the intrigue thing is really working for me for the show, and I'm curious, and I don't know exactly what's going on and who to trust or who to believe and all those things. And that's a really good sign, I think, of a story that has a mystery arc is, you know, feeling like there could be multiple possibilities and those kinds of things. So fingers crossed that is going to continue to go well. And so we'll see how The Masked Singer does, and I'll be back soon.
Wildest Singing Show is here.
Okay, so I've watched the first section of The Masked Singer, and I don't quite know how to describe it or how to react to it, because it's a little different than I expected. It's sort of like a competition between 2 singers. But they said there's 6 performances tonight, and they just showed the Peacock, that was the first singer, who is going against, I can't remember who the second singer is, but it's interesting. They do a little clue package of where the singer says in an altered voice a bunch of things that could help figuring out their identity. And then when they sing, it is their voice, and then they do respond to the panel. But again, they have their voice altered, and apparently they secretly come on set and all this kind of stuff. Well, I'm not saying, I said that apparently with a bit of attitude. I didn't mean to do that. But I do think one of the challenges with a show like this is that it is really hard to keep a secret in the internet world for celebrities, I am sure. So yeah, so I don't know. There was a performance. The performance was good. And then the panelists made commentary throughout the performance as well as afterwards and did ask some questions, but the singer only answered like 2 questions. I'm like, what is that? Sorry, I got totally distracted. Is that the passage? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yes, it is the passage. Wow, the commercial for the passage looks amazing. It totally stole my focus. I do not want to be spoiled. I'm definitely going to be watching that. So anyway, I am a little worried that this might be more of a spectacle show. Of course, it's a spectacle because they're in these outrageous costumes, but but what leads me to believe that is more that like the panel is there to entertain us, not necessarily figure it out. Okay, it's back on. More thoughts in a bit. And wow, the passage. Wow. Oh my god. Okay, so the second singer has now performed. It was the hippo, and the panelists across the board were convinced that it's not a professional singer. And I think they actually, in the clue package, they said that this is the first time that people would hear them sing. So they initially thought maybe it's a rapper who was singing, and then they thought it's an athlete who was singing, which brings a little more light to one of the responses in the first package, or with the first contestant, was the panelist said, "Oh, it's a performer," and I'm like, they're all gonna be performers. But apparently that attitude needed to be checked because maybe not. So anyway, you know, this clue package for the second person was way more specific than the first person, and they did reveal a little bit about how it's going to work in terms of they each sing a song. There's pairs that fight against each other. They each sing a song, and after both performances, the audience and the panelists, and I don't know if it's online. You can never do it in Canada, like anytime there's some kind of voting situation, so I don't even bother listening. So there's some kind of vote going on. I don't know if it's a live vote or if it's just like, you know, in the studio vote, and then whoever wins gets to sing another day. And then at the end of this episode, one of the masked singers will be revealed, but 6 are going to perform, and 3, I think, are going to win. So what happens to the 2 that don't win, that aren't unmasked? I don't know. Maybe they'll be revealed on an upcoming episode. Maybe they will never be revealed. So I'm not sure exactly how the show works yet. It is pretty entertaining, but as I mentioned before, it is a bit more spectacle-centric, you know, witty comments about the performance and audience reactions and stuff like that, as opposed to enjoying the performance as the performance. And that is not my favorite. I will keep watching. I am curious, especially to figure out sort of how it works. But as you can probably tell, I think my attention and excitement over simply the commercial for the passage is actually way stronger than it has been for the show, but I am going to see it through and I am going to watch the rest of it. It's definitely interesting, but it is a bit more spectacle-y. But I'm curious to see what's going to happen next, and I'll pay a little bit more attention to that whole voting situation, but this will be after the fact anyway, so, you know, whatever. So we'll see how that goes. And so there's going to be 2 more battles. I might come in between the commercial, or I might wait till the whole thing shakes down. Yeah, so those are my thoughts on the masked singer after the first battle. I wonder who is going to win, the hippo or the peacock. I would actually go with the hippo because he sang My Prerogative by Bobby Brown, and that is one of my all-time favorite songs. So if I could vote, it would be for the hippo. We'll see who wins. So it is just before 7 o'clock, and I am just waiting for something, and I goofed because I did not put all of my schedules together this week. It's the beginning of the year, and I have not yet migrated everything into this year. And so I am hoping to read, whoa, why is my computer going into power save mode? That's not good. Because, ugh, that's really not good. So I ended up totally missing the Titan games because I got chatting with Izzy during the live show for the Slippery Slope. I also had some tech issues. My computer decided to, like, the monitor shut down right at the beginning of the live show, so I was using my phone and trying to reboot my computer. So it was a little stressful before getting centered on that. And then we just chatted for so long, and and then the show was pretty much close to over. So it's totally fine. I will catch up on it later. I'm sure it'll end up on the Global app or on their website, so I will end up watching it in another way. I am going to try and watch one episode of Pine Gap tonight, although my brain is a little done for the day, so that's not great for thriller espionage-ish show, but I'm still going to give it a shot. Truth be told, I might just end up watching YouTube for the rest of the night. It's totally possible, but I'm going to try and watch Pine Gap just at least one episode. So we'll see how that goes. Actually, especially since I didn't see the Titan games, I should definitely try and watch some Pine Gap because I want to finish both of those or see both of those by the end of the week. So there we go. We shall see how things go. So it is day 4 of TV vlogging, and I didn't actually end up watching Pine Gap last night. I actually don't think I did any of the things I said I was gonna do yesterday. That's okay, it happens sometimes. But for today, I do want to watch one more episode of Pine Gap because I don't want to leave myself 3 in a row to watch. Because even though sometimes I do like to watch that many episodes in a row, I don't like to have to watch that many episodes in a row. And I think that's gonna actually be my only official goal today because I'm hanging out with my sisters today and I have some other stuff that I need to do today, so it might be light on the TV goals of watching element of things, although I might get to writing down the titles for my TBW jar. That might happen. Yeah, so I'm just gonna see how the day goes. I did watch some stuff yesterday. I've been rewatching Babylon 5, I actually would like to finish the season that I'm currently on because I have it on DVD, and I am going to do some switcheroo stuff over the weekend to put the Christmas stuff away and to actually get out some of my books. And also when I start to go into my little storage area, which is just like a nook, it's not even like, it's not big, but when I start to reshift things, I feel like it's a good opportunity to reach, like, if I need anything from back there, I might as well do it all at one time. And so that means I might take a look at my books, and it might take a look at all of my knitting and yarn, because I do want to do more knitting this year. And so that's where my knitting and yarn, and I don't know if they're called notions in knitting, but like the supplies and stuff. So I would like to do a bit of an assessment of my knitting stuff and my book stuff and all of my like DVDs for and Blu-rays and stuff for TV shows that I'm not currently watching are back there as well. So I actually it's not one of the shows I'm watching this week, but I would like to finish the season I'm watching Babylon 5 so I can switch it out for the next one. So it's a really long-winded, I'm not planning on doing any goals today. That's not true. Pine Gap, one episode of Pine Gap, and then, some of my switcheroo stuff on the weekend. So, but, that's good to know because I think I have 3 episodes of Babylon 5, so it's actually, in some ways, that's a little bit more of a priority to get to that today so that I can switch out the DVDs tomorrow. But, for my actual weekly goals, Pine Gap makes more sense. So we'll see what happens. So those are my goal, non-goals plans for today and possibly into the next couple of days. So we will see how things go. So I have been working on my TBW jar. You can see there's one lone title in there so far. I have written a bunch out, and these are all one season series that I want to watch. So I've just put the title, the genre, and how many episodes there are, and I'm gonna write where I'd be watching them. So Netflix are on these ones. On these ones, I'm just gonna put it in pencil. I think in red it's a little too obnoxious. So yeah, I am getting it all ready. Woohoo! Okay, I have decided to expand my titles to also include some from Amazon that I'm looking forward to, and a couple of titles from Tubi. So yeah, there we go. There's about another, I don't know, 15 to 20 that are going in the jar. I did not think there was that many titles, but now that I'm looking at them all together, that is a lot of TV. Now, of course, the challenge is not to necessarily finish watching everything, but it's just about getting decision fatigue out of the way. So, time to get folding. Welcome to day 6 of my TV vlog, and I totally skipped day 5. I did do a couple of clips, but I didn't do any vlogging proper. I did do some watching, but let's catch up from where things started. On day 4, I did go shopping with my sisters, and we actually did a $20 outfit challenge. So we went to Value Village, and our goal, our challenge that we set to ourselves is, could we buy an entire outfit for $20? And Jamie actually did a video over at our Riddler Sisters YouTube channel, so I'll link that above if you want to check it out, how everyone did. And I actually did end up getting an outfit with actually 2 options, but I did not get shoes. So it's, getting shoes was a lot harder. There wasn't anything that worked, but I did end up, so do you want to see the outfit I put together that let's look. So I got a pair of jeans for the pants. I actually got them in the men's section because none of the women's ones were working for me. So I got a pair of jeans. This is actually, I think, the find. I got this awesome black sweater. I don't do turtlenecks, but it has a zipper, so it opens. It's hard to see, but yeah, it's a turtleneck, but it has a side zipper, so you can wear it open, and that's how I'm gonna wear it. And this one, actually, it's quite soft. It's a nice combination. It's mostly acrylic, but also has some wool and some nylon. So I hope it survives the wash. Only wash. I'm not gonna dry because it's wool. But and it's got some nice detailing. It just does not show up on camera, but there's some. It's like it's like a knit 3. No, like a knit 6 purl 2 kind of rib. So it's a really long rib, and then there's some ribbing on the sides. There was a moment where you could see it. So anyway, so that's the base, and then I have 2 options for shirts for underneath. And so this is one. This is definitely the more Shannon option, not super winter option, but definitely more Shannon option. And 2, and this one's really not my colors, but it actually fits quite well. And I'll probably wear it while I do art because it feels like an art day shirt. So there you have it. And I actually met the brief under $20 with tax. So the jeans were $6.50, the shirts were $2.50, $3, and then this was only $5. So that ended up being, I think, $17. And so with tax, it came to under $20. So there's my little clothing haul, if you're curious. And yeah, so that we did that on day 4, and so that took a lot of energy. Shopping is quite challenging for me, and so I actually have watched some stuff, but I didn't do any videos yesterday. And so where am I? I watched another episode of Babylon 5. I watched a couple, I think. I only have 1 left. I watched 1 episode of Pine Gap. And then I started working on my TBW jar, which I think I did do some clips for, so hopefully those work. And yeah, so for today, this is the last day of the vlog because I started a day late. So my week is sort of 6 days here. So today I have lots. My to-do list is long. 1, to do laundry. Thankfully, I don't think I need to hem the jeans, so I'm really happy about that. I'm really short, so I pretty much have to hem everything, but these ones I think I'll just roll up because they're kind of like, if I wear them on my waist versus if I wear them on my hips, there's like a pretty, well, there's a couple inches difference between your waist and your hips. And I think I could wear them either way, and I'm not sure which way I want to wear them yet. So anyway, so no hemming. I didn't need to go there. Where was I going? So for today, I actually have lots of goals left that I haven't hit yet. So I need to finish Pine Gap, which is 2 episodes. I need to watch the Titan Games. That's a really big one. And for this vlog and for future vlogs, what I'm going to do, if there's ones that I mention that are sort of like the primo shows, the new shows, I will put timestamps down below for when I talk about those particular shows, because those are sort of like the new things that are super exciting. So I'm gonna try and watch the Titan games. I have to see if it's available online and if I can get it casted to my TV or watch it on the computer or whatever I'm going to do there. So that's pretty long. And then in semi-related TV things, I also wanted to do Shakespeare Sundays this year because and watch Shakespeare adaptations because I finally finished reading all the plays of Shakespeare, but I think I only ended up watching about I don't know, 7 to 9 adaptations, and there's 38 plays. So even just the CBC has like a fair number of productions, and I've only watched one. So I think I'm just going to start there. And they're all about the same length, so I can't like pick the shortest one. So, but they are about 2 hours. So the Titan Games is 2 hours. I don't know how long they'll end up being streaming. Sometimes there's a little less commercials, but my internet's been a bit slow, so it'll probably end up being 2 hours. So that just those two things is 2 4-hour blogs plus Pine Gap is 2 hours. So I really have to plan out my day because that's really ambitious. I'm also going to be looking at what's on this upcoming week and hopefully filling out my TV grid. So actually, now that I'm thinking of all of those things together, that's like 7 hours worth of stuff, and that's actually way too long. Like Pine Gap and stuff, I can like is a like, and watching the Shakespeare. It's not a super active thing, but with the Titan games, I like to vlog as I and respond, so that's more engaged, like active. So anyway, so I have to time out my day, see what's realistic. Realism. And I also have to clean up a bit because the place kind of exploded, and that's making me a bit like uppity. Like Mr. Uppity. Did you have those Mr. Men book and Little Miss books? Oh my God, we had Mr. Uppity. It was one of the ones that we had. Okay, so those are my goals for the day. First, to time out the day, and then I want to finish Pine Gap, watch the Titan games, watch some Shakespeare, and actually, I would really like to finish Babylon 5. Although because I didn't do my switcheroo with my like finding my yarn in my other TV series and stuff like that, I didn't do that this weekend. So finishing Babylon 5 is a low priority, which ironically means I'll probably get it done instead of other things, but we'll see how the day goes. That was a really long introduction, and yeah, fingers crossed that I get most things done, or hopefully everything done. I always want to get everything done, but we'll see what actually happens. All right, laundry on! So my laundry is still happening, but I'm very excited to say that I cleared my desk. Having a clear desk is like, for me, having a clear mind. So it is one of the things that I work really hard, or I try to very consistently have counters wherever they may be clear. Usually not all of them are ever clear, but this one in particular I use all the time. And I also did mostly clear off my computer desk. I just have my TBW folding to do. I still have some titles to work on there. And then like my two notebooks that I'm working on. Isn't this pretty? This is a new one. This is my new one I got for Christmas. I'm so excited. And so yeah, so I'm feeling pretty good, and my laundry is going to finish soon, and then I'm going to take a little rest, and then I think I am going to watch the Titan games. So far the day has been actually has already felt really full and haven't watched anything, but I will get there, and yeah, I'm gonna make I plotted out the day in my head. I'm gonna do it on paper, and then hopefully it'll happen. It'll all come to life. So now that I'm ready to watch something, this is the lighting situation. It is so sunny, I can't see. I'm gonna draw the curtains, but they don't help that much. Oh gosh. Okay, so I have closed the curtains, hence the red glow. I have got my second coffee, and I have got the casting set up from the computer to the TV. I prefer to cast from my phone because then I can start it. But I don't think I can cast and I don't record video at the same time, which is how I record my vlogs. I record them all on my phone. So yeah, I think I'm gonna cast on my computer. Fingers crossed it works, and I will come back in the commercial breaks and let you know how the Titan games goes. I hope I really like it. After all this, I really hope I like it. And away we go. Oops, full screen. Okay, so sadly my internet is not doing so hot today, and casting from my computer is not good enough to watch the show. I am losing parts of, like, even just in the intro, I am losing parts of the dialogue, I am losing parts of the visual. So I'm gonna try casting from my phone to the TV. I don't know if I can record video while I do that, so I might come back after the whole show is done, or I might come back right away and have another problem or resolution. We'll see. Looks promising. Loading, loading, loading.
This program is rated
Yay!
PG and may contain mature
It's gonna
subject
work.
matter.
Okay, so I have watched the intro and the first battle, as it were. How it's gonna work, it looks like it's a sort of round robin situation where people fight or compete in pairs, and whoever wins moves forward. And it looks like maybe there's 4 people on each side. They're having women compete against women and men compete against men. So far, they have done one challenge, which was a tug of war type challenge. It was called the Herculean something. It's all Titan related, Titans. Mount Olympus is the goal, and I think it's already going back to the show. Nope, that's a commercial. So yeah, so they've had one competition so far, and apparently everyone calls The Rock DJ now. So that Dwayne Johnson DJ, everyone calls him DJ. It took me a while to figure out who they're talking about, which is kind of weird. So yeah, and it's very much like they have little intros and for the people and their backstory, and then they do the competition, and then I'm really curious to see what the other events are, because they look quite epic. Like, it wasn't just a tug of war, you had to do a couple things where you had to compete 2 things individually and then had a tug of war against each other. So it looked very physically taxing, but the event itself was very quick. There was lots of intro explaining the show, explaining the event, and then the actual battle was rather quick. So it'll be interesting to see how it progressed. And I also don't know how long the show is overall, because if it's 4 people on each side, working towards the main, like the end, then that's not going to take too long. So all right, it is back, and I'll be back in a bit. Okay, so that second section went a little faster because they didn't have to do the intro to the show. They just introed the 2 Titans and the event, which was like a siege thing based on like siege warfare. Like, it was a battering ram kind of thing, a hammering ram thing, which was cool. But one of the things I forgot to mention the first time around that's actually quite interesting about this is that the competitors compete head to head, but they don't see the actual person. So far with both of these, they've been done blind, so you can hear how the other person is progressing, but you don't see what they're doing, which is kind of interesting because it's like, focus on your own game until, if there's a head-to-head moment. Because with the first one, the tug of war, it was head-to-head. The other one was time-based, whoever got to the objective first. So it's interesting to see that they're a little bbit different. In terms of how they're constructed, and apparently they are based on Dwayne Johnson's workouts, so, which is really cool. So it's been fun. It's also really inspiring, and I'm enjoying it so far, as you can probably tell. So yay, Titan Games! Okay, so I understand it a little bit better now. It's actually, there's going to be 4 one-on-one competitions, 2 men, 2 women. And then whoever wins each of those 2 competitions fights each other to do the Mount Olympus battle. So if you win, you move forward and you fight the other person who won. And so it looks like every week there will be 2 people who get to the top of Mount Olympus. I thought it was maybe like a progressive, like they progress throughout the season, but it's all within the one show, which is actually pretty cool and makes a lot of sense given it's a 2-hour episode, that you would get a big resolution at the end. One of the challenges, though, is that if someone is on the show and doesn't win the first competition, they could be on the show for like a minute and that's it. So it's like, so, but still, it's the structure of the show, and you still get to see them and you get to cheer for them and to see their stories as well. So far I'm really enjoying it. It has it's been a blast to figure out how it works, and which always takes me a while in these shows. And I think I'm going to save the rest of my thoughts till the end of the show, and rest up while I watch it. It's kind of weird to be sitting here eating like the last of the Christmas cookies, watching these amazingly fit and dedicated and disciplined people, but I will get to that. I will get to that once the cookies are gone.
This is your moment. Own it.
Okay, so I am back and I have finished watching the Titan Games, the first episode of the Titan Games, or should I say the first 2 episodes of the Titan Games, because as it turns out, this actually was 2 one-hour episodes as opposed to 1 2-hour episode. So everything I've said up until that point happened all again. So the structure of the show is in each episode there are 4 sort of like mini competitions where one man and one woman compete against each other, and then whoever wins, that portion goes on to compete against the other winner, and they compete on Mount Olympus, which is a multi-stage, multi-level, really extraordinary challenge. Like the challenge that to get them, like the first challenge they do is really hard, and it's usually like a 2-part thing. Usually, not always. But the Mount Olympus is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's a 7th one in there, depending on how you determine it. It was epic. Like, it was epic, and they just looked exhausted by the end of it, especially in the first episode. I actually wonder if the people in the second episode got to see the first episode, because the second episode, spoilers, I won't say who won, but in the second episode, the men and the women who went on, like, did the Mount Olympus, I don't know, course, it was much more head to head. Like, it was much more like really like tense and fun. So I ended up really enjoying the show. I'm definitely going to watch it again. I find it inspiring. I find it engaging. I find it entertaining. I love hearing the stories, and The Rock is so positive, and you just like, and the challenges are so hard. And so it was really fun to watch. I wish I had known that it was 2 one-hour episodes though, because the level of intensity of that kind of like sporting event level intensity, I find a little hard to keep focus for 2 hours, because it's at 11 like the whole time. So so for me, it'll probably end up being a show that I do a little bit of multitasking to, just during the commercials and stuff like that. And also because I don't like to see the coming up on, because like you're gonna see it in like 5 minutes or 3 minutes or whatever. So I don't like to watch those either. And one of the things that I initially found a little challenging, but then they ended up explaining it a bit better, is that they initially, they say, or The Rock says that it's for, and they actually call him DJ, said that this is for everyday people, and I was like, these don't seem like everyday people. Like, they have everyday jobs, but everyone has an everyday physical job. Like, their job is very physically demanding, and they do athletic stuff, training, going to the gym, like a lot in their work life. But then he did, like, the expanded language on that is everyday people with extraordinary athletic ability, and to give them a platform. So that was his vision for the show. So I'm glad that they said it a few times, and I'm glad that they said the whole thing, because I'm like, these are not everyday people. Like, they are in the fact that, that they're not professional athletes, but some, at least one, was very close to a professional athlete. So not just split hairs or anything like that. I'm just happy that it was explained further, and there is like more to that, because they do have extraordinary athletic ability, like way more than the average person or everyday person, or what does everyday person mean? I don't know. But eventually I'm like, okay, I get it. Now I understand. When you have the full thing, now I understand. So I definitely am going to keep watching this. I'm not actually sure if it's on next week, because was untracked, it said that there were 2 episodes on the 3rd, and then the 3rd episode was on the 18th. So I don't know if they're taking a week off. I haven't looked at the TV listings yet. That's another one of my to-dos today. So I'm looking forward to that. But I definitely will keep watching it. It was really fun. It is a good one. For me, it is a good one to watch live because the casting from my phone was okay, but it did get a bit dodgy sometimes. And when you're seeing stuff, especially that's so fast and action-oriented, it's much better to watch it live. And of course, you know, with a show like this is a competition series, so you don't want to get spoiled. I don't know how many people I know are watching the Titan Games, but I will find out. So I thought it went pretty well. I'm definitely going to add it to the roster. And oh, I did see a couple of commercials for things while I was watching. They showed a commercial for Roswell, New Mexico, which is a redux of the Roswell TV show that was out in the late 80s, early 90s about aliens masquerading as humans in Roswell, New Mexico. And that's very clear from the commercial. It's not a spoiler. It's the premise of the show. Yeah, I really enjoyed the original Roswell. So I don't know. I'm going to check out this new one. It's on Showcase here in Canada. I'll watch it on the CW because I get that through Antenna. But I don't know. It looks so similar to the original that I don't know if I'd want to watch it, but I'll check it out and see what it's like. It's coming sometime. I don't remember actually. Might be this month, but it was the heavy rotation commercial that they had. And they also showed a commercial for New Amsterdam, which I'm really sad about because now I know what's going to happen this week. New Amsterdam is without question one of my favorite shows this current season. It started in the fall, and wow, it is extraordinary. It gets me each and every time. Like, each and every time. I'm very invested in that show. So I'm really mad that I saw the commercial. So usually I turn the commercials down, like I turn the volume down and I don't watch. And I just sort of keep my eye on for when the show comes back. That's how I normally watch TV live, especially if it's a channel where, well, no, just generally that's how I watch it because sometimes I watch commercials. I watched Roswell once. Anyway, it's not about do you or don't you watch commercials. That's could be a whole other thing. So yeah, so Titan Games, I enjoyed it. I will look forward to seeing more of it. I find it inspiring. And it looks tough, man. It looks tough. So yay! So got one more show down. I'm probably going to switch things up and check out what's going to be on this week because that's where my curiosity is going. And we'll see how the rest of the day goes. And now it is lunchtime, and I gotta admit, this is very typical lunch for me, but watching shows like the Titan Games do inspire me to eat healthy and make good choices. So I am having some nuts, but still generally pretty healthy lunch. So yay, go me! So I'm just about to sit down and look at what is on TV this week, and it's weird. It feels so late because it's like pitch black, and there's my shadow, or reflection. Like it's pitch black outside, but it's only 6. It's 6:10. So I feel like the day is like done, but it's like there's tons of time. I'm a night owl, so there's tons of time left. And yeah, so my tea is steeping, and I am going to get my handy dandy TV book out and look at what's new on this week. I have, from my spreadsheet, I actually have that there are like 19 new shows, so that's a lot. That's not necessarily 19 that I'm interested in. It looks like I'm interested in about 4. I'll probably start to put together my skeleton of the TV schedule, like the winter TV schedule, because more new shows will be available to slot in and have a sense of what's going to be on just generally this winter. And then I gotta get to watching some more stuff, like more Pine Gap. I think that's actually the last goal is to finish Pine Gap, so I really want to do that. But now, it's so funny, I watched Escape Plan last night on Netflix, and I really want to watch Escape Plan 2, which is not a TV show. I'm allowed to watch other stuff, but it's just like, I rewatched Escape Plan so I can watch the second one, so I might get suckered into that, so. Anyway, as for now, I'm going to check what's new on the schedule, and then see if I can put my little grid together. I got the year right. Okay, well, 2 episodes of Dark Shadows later, I finally have looked at everything that's on next week. And although not that much, there's not that much coming back, but there is still a fair amount that I am watching or at least following. There's a couple of new shows that I want to check out. One's called Coroner, it's on the CBC. It's Canadian, it's set here in Toronto, and it follows a coroner. It's based on a book or possibly a book series. I only read the press. I read the press release a couple of days ago. I can't remember if it was a book or a book series. There's also a new show called Cavendish, which is also on the CBC, and it follows two brothers that grew up in Toronto but then moved back east for there's something about a superstition or something. So I don't know what that's going to be about, like what tone that's going to take. I think it's supposed to be a comedy. It's a half-hour show. Half-hour shows are usually comedies or comedic, at least. And speaking of comedic, oh my gosh, Workin' Moms is coming back. Oh my gosh, it is so good. And I feel so badly that I have not kept up with the show. I am still in season 1 and it's coming back for its 3rd season. It is a hilarious comedy. It is quite a dark comedy, and there is definitely commentary, and it's very adult. And I find it actually refreshingly adult, but I also find it really surprising some of the things that they can show and say on TV. Wow. So it's really good. I highly recommend it, even though I'm not up to date. I will do that one day. I will do that one day. And the only other new show that hit on the radar that I am looking forward to checking out is, where is it? Project Blue Book, which is going to be on History. I was happy to see that it's here on History Canada, because we don't always get all of the shows. And this one is a scripted series. I imagine it's a drama, and it follows a UFO research or investigation. I'm not sure. It's something UFO related. And so I am hoping to check that out when it pops up online, hopefully, like when it pops up on the History of Canada website. Hopefully it will be unlocked, and I can watch it that way. But I haven't watched the trailer or anything for it, so I don't know in terms of tone what it's going to be like, and so that makes a big difference. So maybe I should watch the trailer first and then see how I feel about it. So, and other than that, there's also the CW has they're doing a documentary about Roswell, Mysteries Decoded, and it's going to be on Thursday at 8, which I imagine will be the time slot for the new Roswell show, and sort of this is lead up in anticipation. I keep slowly but surely getting a different angle. So anyway, so those are some of the new shows that I am checking out. I was also surprised to see that Manifest is on at a different time on the Canadian channel, because on Monday night, usually it's on at 10, but on City TV it's on at 7 this week, because The Bachelor has a 3-hour season premiere. 3 hours of The Bachelor. 3 hours. It says that it's like 30 contestants, so that's a lot of people to introduce. So I haven't watched that show for years. I've only seen clips of it here and there, but it's not one that I follow. But a 3-hour premiere, wow, that's really, really, really long. So anyway, yeah, and I'm going to be watching New Amsterdam comes back this week. Hopefully I will end up watching Lethal Weapon at the right time. I actually I did set a timer on my phone to check what's on, because there's a lot of stuff that's on at different times. There's a lot of new stuff this week, and I don't want to miss anything. So there you go, and then I will hopefully still get to the last couple episodes of Pine Gap and maybe some Babylon 5, but we are starting to get in to the later part of the day, and my energy does tend to wane. My energy is already quite waning, so in some ways that's good for TV, but it's not good for it's not good for really high focus TV, and Pine Gap is definitely one that I don't want to. I'm just gonna hold it. Let's just stop the mouse. Pine Gap is definitely a show that oh my gosh, I was gonna say I'm getting the kitty crazies, but I'm not a kitty. Okay. Obviously, it's time to stop talking. But yeah, I do still have some goals that I want to work through today, and we'll see. I don't know. I'm definitely not high capacity. I think I can fold the rest of these slips of paper. I think I'm probably up for that. I don't know how much I'm up for other than that. We shall see. So I just watched the trailer for Project Blue Book, and definitely is a drama, has a sort of conspiracy feel to it, and I think it has a sort of based on true events thingy going on, and stars Littlefinger. So yeah, I had to go to the history site to find it. I couldn't find a trailer for Cavendish. I don't remember if I mentioned that one. It's a Canadian one, and yeah, and I've seen the commercials for the coroner, so I know, or coroner, so I know I want to try that one out. So yeah, I think I am going to hopefully check out those three shows next week. Let me know if you are going to check them out. All right, it is late, but I'm still gonna get my physiotherapy on and watch some Babylon 5.
Is Babylon 5.
I finished Pine Gap. Yay! All right, it is time to wrap up this TV vlog. Woohoo! Hey everyone, it is Shannon, and I'm super excited to be here today and to look back at the 6 goals I set for myself this week for this TV vlog and to see how I did for them. Now, the 6 goals I set for myself were to watch 2 series premieres as they aired, because it's the new season, so there's new shows. So I wanted to check out 2 new shows. I also wanted to start a series. I wanted to finish a series I was currently watching. I almost said reading. I also wanted to do 2 paper-based things, one of which was to create a TV grid for the winter 2019 schedule to show what all the different networks are airing so that I can determine what I want to watch, because most of the viewing I do live. It's not, as opposed to like excluding things like Netflix and stuff. You know, if it's a new show, I tend to watch it live. So what do I want to watch this season? And then I also wanted to do a TBW jar, a to be watched jar. One of the things that I want to try out this year is to focus on watching 1 season series and see if I enjoy that, because I feel like I'm a completist. So completing lots of little things might be more like exciting than working through really long series. And I'm already, to be honest, working through a lot of really long series. And, you know, when you finish, it feels great, but it takes a long time to get there. So I'm thinking that if I add shorter shows into the rotation, that might feel good too. So anyway, so those were the 6 goals I set for myself. So the 2 shows that I wanted to watch that were new this week are The Masked Singer and The Titan Games. And I did end up watching both of those, and I did talk about them quite extensively. So they're earlier in the vlog. I will link to, I will have talked about that, and I will leave links below for when that discussion begins, because it'll be in one long block. I will do timestamps, that's the word I'm looking for. But in short, I will say The Masked Singer, that I thought it was mostly entertaining, but I did think it was entertainment. That's the goal. It was more about the panel being like entertaining us, the viewer, than enjoying the performance by the singers, who appears to be all non-professional singers. So it wasn't exactly the setup that I expected, and there were some things about the show that I didn't enjoy, but I will probably continue to watch it until I have a time conflict, which I will, because it's on at the same time as All American, which is one of my favorite new shows this season. It's a football drama based on a true story, and it's on the CW, and I love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. So you're probably not like, I'm gonna watch All American. But until then, I'll probably continue watching The Masked Singer. The Titan Games is another reality competition series. This one is created and hosted by The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, who they call DJ. And he created it with the idea is to show everyday people with extraordinary athletic ability and to give them a platform. And it is very intense, and there are lots of the physical feats that they can do is extraordinary. I found it exciting, I found it entertaining, and I found it inspiring. I definitely will keep watching this one, and to be, you know, honest, I actually have totally without hesitation committed to my physiotherapy and done it every single day, including the day this was on, which I was really tired and I ended up doing really late, but I still did it. So it's got me recommitted to my own health. So honestly, like, you know, that's that says a lot. So I am really enjoying it. My only challenge with this one is going to be is on at the same time as Supernatural, which is one of my favorite shows, and it's in its 14th season. That said, I did buy Supernatural, so I can watch it on Google Play, and this was available on Global because I ended up not watching it live. So I was able to watch it through the Global app, so both of them have an alternate to live watching. So I do plan on continuing watching both of them. And I did finish my show that I was working on, which was Pine Gap. It's 6 episodes, and I had only watched one episode when I started my vlog. It's an Australian espionage / political thriller. It's set in Australia in a surveillance center that is co-run by Australians and Americans who obviously have different interests politically, but not too different, and they're allies, and it gets very, tense, and there are lots of things, and I'm not going to say anything about it because it's a mystery and espionage and thriller, and you don't want to know any of the things. I really enjoyed this. It took me a little while to get into it, which isn't great for a 6-episode show, but it didn't take long. I think by the 2nd episode, I was in. The only challenge I had was there was one person whose accent was a little off. Like I couldn't tell he was American, and he was. So, and that was relevant. It's relevant. It's very relevant to know who's Australian and who's American. It's very important. So, in terms of where people's loyalties lie or where you think people's loyalties lies and these kinds of things. So that was the only thing that made me go, I'm a little confused at this point. And then someone said something about him being American, and I was like, oh, I had not picked up on that. Anyway, so that was it. Just one dodgy accent, and that was it. Otherwise, I found it really engaging. Really great performances. It is pretty tense, so I will say that. So I really felt for the characters, and with that, it made me want to watch the next episode because I was like concerned about them. So that actually for me really is a sign of a good show when you're actually thinking about the people in between episodes and hoping that they're okay. So yeah, and it wasn't like, I know political thrillers can go really far on that kind of stuff, and it's not like I wasn't concerned for their physical safety. I was concerned for their emotional safety, which is of course also very important, but as an individual you do have a lot more control over that. Or do you? I don't know. That's a whole question. That's a question that I'm now thinking about because of this show. So I would say that was a really big success, and I'm super thrilled that it's early in January. I've already finished something. That just feels so good. And so the show that I started was The White Queen, and I was just committing to watching the first episode of this, and now I wonder if that was too light of a goal, because I did watch it, I did love it. Look at how much my hair is like her hair. I did watch it, I loved it, I was really engaged, but now I'm already thinking, there's something else I want to watch that's a bit more of a priority to me. I should go watch that other shiny thing. Because this show, it was a 1-season show, and I want to watch it so I can read the book, because I unwrapped the book, and I want to read it in February, so I really should get to this, but I'm already being drawn to that other show that's slightly similar. It's a historical show, so I don't know what's going to happen, but I did achieve my goal, which was to watch one episode, and it rekindled that I did love the series. There were so many things I liked about it, a lot of strong women in this, and that's always a win. Pine Gap also has a lot of strong women. Everyone is strong in Pine Gap, but there's two, there's one in particular that really got me, but there's two, everyone's stories I wanted to know more about, which is also a good sign. But anyway, so yeah, so that was so it's a win, but I'm kind of I might have got a little under on the goal here, but that's okay. All learning. So my TV grid, and I did actually finish one other show, and I never showed it, so I thought I would just, in case I was talking about stuff and people were like, what is she talking about? I did finish season 1 of Babylon 5, which is a science fiction series from the 90s, and yeah, 93. So I did finish this, and now I actually really I need to root around in my little storage area to get season 2. So I'm really happy that I finished that off. I love that series. So my TV grid, how did I do? So I didn't finish it, but I did start it. So this has room for all the Canadian shows, and all the all the Canadian stations and all the American stations. And I did fill out CBC because they had all of the information on their press release. Now, not all of the shows and all of the networks have their broadcasting 100% new live stuff. So that impeded on actually completing this goal. That said, I could have gone to Wikipedia or a TV line for, they both have grids for upcoming schedules or current schedules, but I don't love how either of them is formatted. Is it an excuse? Is it a reason? I don't know. So anyway, I progressed on this, and as shows become new, I will start to fill it in. So I'm almost there, but there was actually, even this current week, there's way less new stuff than I thought there would be. So last but not least is my TBW jar, and I honestly thought that this would be the easiest thing to do, but there's nothing in there. I got about halfway through. So I wrote down a whole bunch of titles of a whole bunch of shows that I am curious about, that I want to check out. And I didn't do the titles. That would have been more interesting. Whole bunch of titles that I want to watch. And I got about halfway through folding them. So hopefully I'll finish that today or soon. I don't know when I'm going to pick the first one. It might be, I don't know. It's not going to be right now because I didn't fold everything. I might do it as an Instagram story. You know, I don't know. I might do a TV vlog just of that series, whatever I end up picking. I don't know. I'm not sure. But I didn't quite achieve the goal, but you know. But I did achieve all the watching goals, and that's not bad. And I think I got half of each of the other goals. So 4 plus half and half, it's 5 out of 6, which is pretty good. I can't do that math right off the bat, exactly what percentage that is, but it's, what is that, in between 75 and 85? Maybe? I don't know. Quick math. Quick fire math. Somewhere in there. So yeah, because it's at a, yeah, because even when you multiply it, you get it like sort of like out of 30. Yeah, that's not helpful. I need paper for that. So anyway, I think that this went really well. I am worried this vlog is going to be super long, so I apologize for that. But if you made it all the way to the end, I hope it was enjoyable. I would love to know if you're watching any of these series. I would love to know if you consider doing a TBW jar for yourself, and what you've been watching, what you're looking forward to this season, because there's certainly a lot of new shows that are coming out that aren't out yet that I am definitely looking forward to. I really thought more of them were going to be on this week, but that's not how the cards fell. But I will enjoy them. I do tend to show and share what I'm watching on Instagram and Twitter. So if you're curious and what I'm watching on a more daily basis, that is a great way to connect. And yeah, so there you go. That was my week in TV, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching.